Raymond and Ray is a 2022 film directed and written by Rodrigo Garcia, and we have a cast including Ewan McGregor as Raymond and Ethan Hawke as Ray. And I love the cast, and the concept could have gone either way, but I actually found this to be tremendously boring. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but I certainly didn't care for it. There were a lot of scenes that felt like padding. There were some scenes where it felt like they were trying to lift the mood, which is fair enough, but those scenes were actually just dull and didn't really add anything. So it could have been okay, but I didn't really care for it. It's about two brothers, Ray and Raymond, and they find out that their father has passed away, so they go to sort out his estate and things, and they find out that they've inherited something, but they have to dig their father's grave. They have to work together to dig his grave. And my first question is that even allowed? And I did Google it, and the general consensus is no. You have to be a professional grave digger. You can't just dig a grave in a cemetery. Maybe with supervision it would be allowed, but I still feel like it's a bit of a stretch. But I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe it was inspired by true events. I have no reason to believe that's the case, but I could be wrong about that. But I did Google it, and generally it's not something that's allowed. And obviously when they're doing this, they're talking about their past, their relationship with their father, their relationship with each other. It's definitely very character-driven, but I found the characters to be really boring. Unless maybe you can relate to any of the characters and their relationships with each other, that might be okay. That might be worth watching, because if there's an element of relatability, it could be a bit more fascinating. But I just found it to be very, very slow. The characters were not interesting, not badly written, just not fascinating at all. I did like the cemetery location. I did absolutely love that. Apparently, it's filmed in Oakwood Cemetery in Richmond, Virginia, and as a big fan of cemeteries, I did like the fact that a good chunk of the film is set in a cemetery. Credit where it's due. And I guess everything else is fine. The camera work's fine, the lighting's fine, the performances are fine. So there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. I just don't think it works well. The idea does. The idea of two brothers coming together, having very much a character study and a relationship study during this difficult time as they're dealing with the loss of their father, their relationships and relationships that they perhaps never had, that they no longer have the time to have. On paper it works. And it's not so much that it doesn't work with the execution, because everything flows well, aside from digging their own grave, their father's grave rather. Everything is generally believable within the context of the narrative. So it's okay, but it's just not interesting. I found it to be very dull. The only thing that I liked, well, a few things. The cemetery, it is beautiful. And Ethan Hawke and Ewan McGregor gave really good performances with the material they had to work with. So it's fine. It's not great. I don't love it. I wouldn't watch it again. I don't know if I recommend it. If you're curious, check it out. It is watchable. I wouldn't say it's an enjoyable experience or really even a fascinating experience, but I'd say it's watchable. So maybe it's worth checking out. I didn't really care for it. I think it sounded like it could have worked well, but the execution was just very, very slow. So didn't work for me. Might appeal to some people, but ultimately I didn't really care for it.